today's episode of You Name It and I Play It, we're going to be playing Incineroar EX and pairing it up with Magmortar from Journey Together to increase the burn damage that Incineroar does so we can actually start taking knockouts on stage 2 Pokemon for as little as just 1 energy. So let's get right into it. Incineroar has the Hustle Play ability. It says that the attacks used by this Pokemon cost 1 colorless less for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon, and in a format where almost all benches are full at all times or just have 1 bench space over for tech cards like Fezandipiti. Hustle Play makes it so that the Blaze Blast attack that costs 5 energies, 1 fire, 4 colorless, will almost always be activated for just 1 fire energy. The Blaze Blast attack does 240 damage and your opponent's active Pokemon is now burned. Pair that up with Magmortar that has the Magma Surge ability that says during Pokemon checkup put 3 more damage counters on your opponent's burned Pokemon, have 2 Magmortar in play and attack with Incineroar, and you're taking out most of these stage 2 EXs. So let's get right into our game plan. Incineroar is our main attacker and basically our only attacker, so we want to establish a couple of Incineroars throughout the game. The easiest way to do that is use Precious Trolley, turn 1 going second, and using Team Evolution to set up a couple Torracat, as well as the occasional Magmortar. And against big basic decks like Raging Bolt, most of the time you don't really have to worry about setting up too many Magmortars, since you're probably dealing enough damage anyways. So all you have to do is just try to get turn 1 Precious Trolley, and if you can't, of course, try and set up a couple Litten and maybe a Magmar or 2, and from turn 2 just start swinging with Blaze Blast, and hopefully knocking out everything in your way. Now let's get into the more specific cards. One card I very like in this deck is Iron Bundle. Iron Bundle has the Hyper Blower ability that says once in your turn if this Pokemon is on your bench, you may switch out your opponent's active Pokemon to the bench. Your opponent chooses the new active Pokemon, and if you do, discard this Pokemon and all cards attached to it. Another important card is Mew EX. This deck doesn't have a lot of draws. Since you're playing Magmortar as well as the entire Incineroar line, it takes up a lot of Pokemon to do that already. So I did include 1 Mew and of course Fezandipiti, so we have just a little more draw than if you wouldn't play it. So you just have the option of using a little bit more draw. Let's get into our trainers. We're playing 1 Counter Catcher, of course our ace-spec, like I said, Precious Trolley. Search your deck for any number of basic Pokemon and put them onto your bench. We're playing 1 Counter Gain, since if you're behind on prize cards, the attacks used by the Pokemon this card is attached cost 1 colorless less. So if you're behind on prize cards and your opponent doesn't have enough Pokemon on their bench for you to start swinging for 1 or 2 energy, you can attach a Counter Gain and then you can probably swing and take a knockout. We're playing 4 Pokégear, 1 Night Stretcher, 1 Artazon, 4 Arven to find that Precious Trolley, as well as Team Evolution. So we're playing 2 Team Evo, 1 Boss's Orders, 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Iono, 1 Super Rod, 2 Rare Candies, 1 Buddy-Buddy Poffin, 2 Earthen Vessel, 1 Professor Tourist Scenario, and 2 Rescue Board. We're only playing 2 Rare Candies since we do really lean pretty heavily into the Team Evo play, hence why we play 2 Torracats, and this has worked out pretty nicely for me. Alright, and for energy, we have 8 basic fire energy. So that's the full list. Make sure if you want to be featured in my next episode of You Name It and I Play It, to let me know down below in the description what card or deck you want to see in the next episode, and maybe you'll check it out in a future video for the series. And if you want to join the channel Discord, make sure to check the link in my bio to join the Discord right there. Alright, and with that, let's get into our first match. Alright, it looks like we will be going second, which is perfect for us. And our opponent is playing a Donk deck, so I'm really glad I benched the second Litten. So let's see what they got. They're gonna play a Nest Ball and probably get some sort of... yeah, I have literally no idea. This could be a Donk deck. This could also just be a deck that uses the Donk, the Poison package. And they're just gonna get Squawkabilly here, which is fine by me. They're gonna play Ultra Ball, discard Night Stretcher and a Super Rod. So what would they get here? I'm curious to see if this is just a Donk deck or a deck that just plays the Poison package. Ooh, Roaring Moon. Okay, that's pretty interesting. So Roaring Moon. We do one-shot Roaring Moon, but I guess Roaring Moon one-shots us as well. So there's that, yeah. I guess it just really depends on who gets the first 2 prizes, huh? We do only just play 1 boss, so that could be a little worrisome, but I guess we'll just have to see. They're gonna attach a capsule, so they actually got the first prize card already. That's kind of unfortunate since they can do that again next turn as well. So yeah, we don't have a very good hand. We have 3 fire energy, which is kind of insane. We have an Iono, So I guess it's just attached to Litten. Oh, that's really bad. Okay. Another fire energy. We only play 8, so it's kind of crazy we got 4 in our opening hand. With the draw for turn, I mean. And this is a, like, really bad hand. Yeah. Okay. I wanted to say maybe I gust up something and then fake out, but that wouldn't do anything since they have Petulant. Okay. Yeah, I guess it's gonna be a pass for us then. This match is shaping up to be a pretty bad one. I mean, I don't know what the rest of the match... Oh, we should have just attacked, by the way. Okay. Well, I should have attacked with Litten, but I don't think it's gonna matter very much for the end result, since it's probably just gonna result into a toxic powder, and they just take a knockout with Petulant. Yep. I mean, the 10 damage might have, like, changed something somewhere. I'm not sure. But it was definitely not the correct play, so to speak. And Magmar's also dying to this, by the way. This is like pretty bad. Mew, let's Arven, Trolley, Evo. Let's break Trolley. Get a full bench. Let's attach this here. Let's evolution. A Litten and a Magmar. I wasn't really sure if I had 2 Torracat in deck, I'm gonna be honest. I did not price check. Which you might want to do if you play this deck yourself, or at least check how many like Torracats or Incineroar are in your deck, as well as if Precious Trolley's in your deck, since those are some pretty darn important cards you kind of have to keep track of. So far, he's gonna be in a like 3 prize lead. I mean, it's not unwinnable, but it's not looking very bright, I think. Next turn, our line of play would be to promote Torracat, bench Fezandipiti, I guess flip the script, and play Pokégear and try and get an energy as well as an Incineroar, and probably counter catcher up the Roaring Moon. Or if they have a very small hand, wait, never mind, they're gonna play a secret box. Maybe if we get to Iono them, if we find Iono as well as the rest of the stuff we need, I guess counter catcher up Fez maybe. I'm not sure. Probably KO Fez or Roaring Moon. Or Sadas Vitality. I think we'd KO Roaring Moon in that situation. And hopefully still find something like an Iono, since if we get to disrupt him as well as take a knockout on Roaring Moon, I don't think we're in that rough of a position, since it would, I think, be somewhat hard for them to come back. Ooh, an ancient booster capsule. So now I'm actually glad I did evolve into Magmortar, since that would be perfect math with Incineroar. We'll be doing exactly 5 damage counters with poison, I mean burned, and as well as 240 in damage, so that would be 290. I guess we just promote Torracat like I said. Torracat here. Draw for turn, and we get an Iono. But I kind of need to find an energy. Oh, wait, Fez doesn't work. Yeah, I completely forgot about it. Well, that's kind of annoying. I guess I still counter catcher up Roaring Moon and kind of just pray it works out. Energy and Incineroar. There's an energy, and we can get an Incineroar with Ultra Ball. Okay, so it did work out. Kind of sketchy this. It did work out, luckily for us. I think I'm gonna discard the Torracat. Since I want to keep the Iono for next turn. Evolve this, and we just swing with Blaze Blast for 240 for 1 energy, taking a knockout. Oh, wait. I am in disbelief. You gotta be kidding me. I completely forgot. It doesn't work like that. He's probably just gonna run into Petra now. Ancient Booster Energy Capsule doesn't work like that. Yeah. He cannot be affected by a special condition. Which I completely forgot, so... This basically means that I counter-catchered up Roaring Moon for nothing. Since if I counter-catchered up Fez, I probably... okay. Okay, nothing we can really do about it now. Attach the Litten. I guess I can attach Counter Gain here. Do I kind of want Iono. I don't think they have the best hand, but I'm gonna get one card less. I can get a fresh hand myself. Maybe I Hyper Blower first. So probably just promote Squawk, I guess. I don't think he wants to promote Brute Bonnet here. I mean, he could also just promote Brute Bonnet. I don't think he would need it. There's Squawk, though. I'm gonna Iono, because I might want to play Boss in a future turn. We can get Torracat back. That's nice. That means we don't need Rare Candy, or we don't rely on Rare Candy to evolve up into Incineroar in a later turn. That's good. We're so dying to Roaring Moon. Let's Blaze Blast and take a knockout on Squawk. And let's take 2 prize cards. I'm not sure if there's a world where we ever win this game. After not taking a knockout on Roaring Moon. If I knocked out the Fez, I am 100% positive that we could have won this game. Because we would have been like 4 per, then we would only have 2 prize cards remaining probably. So yeah, we went from possibly winning the game to probably not winning the game. I do apologize for my play. I completely forgot that it removes special conditions. If I realized or remembered that it didn't work like that, of course I would never do that play. 5 damage counters. Okay, so we can still knock out Roaring Moon. The thing is, like, they're in a position now that they would only need a boss ever to just win the game. Okay, KOing Magmar. I guess if we promote Torracat, evolve up into Incineroar, Iono, as well as maybe get Magmortar here, we can take a knockout on Roaring Moon and perhaps find boss for a later turn. We should have 1 boss in deck. I guess that's our play, so we haven't lost yet. And we do get knocked out through damage here, so Fez is also active. So I guess not all hope is lost. And if we were to just take a knockout on Fez, let's say we would... No, I really need to disrupt his hand. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna save flip the script since I do want to Iono. So let's get Incineroar. I probably play Earthen Vessel so we can attach an energy to... I think I can attach a rescue board here. Earthen Vessel, attach an energy to Magmar, since we have Counter Gain, so nothing really gets stuck. Let's get 2, so we have a higher chance of actually finding boss for a later turn from the Iono. That's Iono. Nothing like a boss. I might just... No, I don't. Earthen Vessel. Or do I? We have a Pokégear on the bottom of our deck. We have only 2 cards at the bottom of our deck. I might as well Earthen Vessel. Thin out 2 more cards as well as a higher chance at finding Pokégear, so I guess that's correct. Let's flip the script. Find 3 Pokégears, so the chance of us finding boss, if it's not priced, are actually pretty high now. Let's Blaze Blast, take a knockout on Roaring Moon. They have a 1 card hand, which will go up to like 5 with draw for turn, as well as Fezandipiti. We did not find Magmortar. That's like the biggest disappointment, I guess, since a boss would still lose the game here. Yeah, now I just gotta pray they don't have it. If they don't, we probably win the game because boss was prize and we did just get it from our prize cards. Petruant EX, if he plays Janine, would also be able to take a knockout on Incineroar. There's Ultra Ball. Kind of curious to what he's gonna get now. Discard Bourbonnet and PAL Pad. Maybe get a Mew EX, perhaps. Ursaluna. Ursaluna wouldn't KO. And we would just KO Ursaluna, so... Oh! Of course, he's just gonna Toxic Powder and just pray we don't have it, so he can then promote Ursaluna. But then he would have to bench Ursaluna, because otherwise he would have to find a switching card. Yeah. Okay, that's his play. So we just win the game then. Whew. Yeah, that was a hectic game. Hectic? Is that a... yeah, I think so. I'm not sure. I think I can say that, like, in that context. That's not important right now. We just boss up. Whatever. Let's just boss up Fez. And we can just Blaze Blast now. Take a knockout on Fezandipiti. And take our final 2 prize cards. So in this game, we really saw the power of Iono. I guess just disrupting our opponent's hand twice. Even when they were ahead in the prize trade. With 3 prize cards. And... myself making a misplay, not bossing up Fezandipiti earlier, we still managed to win the game. I mean, it might have been actually correct since I would have to deal with Roaring Moon eventually. So, did win the game, a very close game. Unfortunately, that will be the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Don't forget, if you want to see a card or deck reviewed by me in my next episode of You Name It and I Play It, or a future episode, let me know down below what card or deck that might be, and maybe I'll check it out for you. And if you want to join my channel Discord server, make sure to check the link in my bio to join the Discord. And if you want to see one of the most diabolical toolbox decks right now, check out the video right here, and I'll see you there.